You get that feeling. Like 2025 is like straight out of some dystopian film.
Yeah.
It's everywhere, right? Like the headlines are bleak, anxiety's high, and
Yeah.
everyone's kind of on edge.
Mm-hmm.
We're diving into this video script today called Dystopia is the new hashtag for 2025.
Okay.
And it's really hit a nerve, like it's gone viral.
Yeah.
And for good reason, I think. It's all about why people are, I don't know, feeling this urge to just pack it up and leave. Like, get
Yeah.
me out of here.
Yeah, yeah.
It even starts with this whole montage, like news clips and this somber music, like really setting the scene.
It's interesting, right, how that kind of imagery just like gets to people. Like
Yeah.
it really resonates. I think it's tapping into something really primal.
Okay.
When we feel like our safety and well-being are threatened, it's like we're wired to react.
Right.
Fight or flight, right.
Mhm.
And for a lot of people right now, that flight instinct is kicking in.
Yeah.
It's like they're looking for a better life, even if it means leaving everything they know behind.
It's like the video is holding up a mirror to how everyone's feeling globally, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it digs deeper.
Mm.
It doesn't just stop at the feeling.
Right.
It breaks down why people feel this way.
Yeah.
Economic hardship, climate change, political unrest. The video calls them like the 3 big pushes driving people to migrate.
And they all kind of work together, don't they?
Yeah.
Creating this perfect storm almost.
Exactly.
Take the economy, for example. There's this family in the video. They're just struggling to get by, just bills piling up everywhere. You
Yeah.
can just feel their desperation.
It's a scene that I think a lot of people can relate to, unfortunately.
Oh,
I mean, who hasn't felt that?
absolutely. And I think it's important to realize this isn't just a temporary thing.
Right.
We're seeing this like combination of things happening in the economy. Inflation, wages not keeping up, cost of living skyrocketing. It's like people's buying power is being chipped away. It's
Yeah.
more than just tightening your belt a little,
Yeah.
It's this constant stress that just weighs on you.
And then there's the climate crisis, which is just, well, impossible to ignore.
Mm.
The video has these images, floods, wildfires, like whole places just becoming unlivable.
Yeah, it's stark.
It's a stark reminder that for some people, migration isn't a choice at all. It's like survival.
Exactly. That's where the term climate refugees comes in, right?
Right.
People who are forced from their homes because of these environmental disasters. And it's not going away. It's only going to get worse, I think.
Yeah.
The challenges they face. Huge. Rebuilding their lives, dealing with the trauma of losing their homes, often competing for resources in places that are already struggling.
And the long-term consequences, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Not just for the individuals, but like globally.
Yeah, yeah.
Potential for conflict over resources, political instability. It's like a domino effect.
For sure. And then on top of all of that, the economic and environmental pressures, we have political unrest. The video shows these protests, people demanding justice, that fear of oppression. It's palpable. For a lot of people, migration becomes about more than just a better life. It's about safety, freedom, basic rights.
It makes you wonder, when is it more dangerous to stay than to go? Like, how do you weigh that?
Yeah.
The obligation to fight for your home versus the instinct to protect yourself and your family.
It's a tough question, and millions of people around the world are having to answer it right now.
And we have to remember, right, that political unrest isn't just one thing.
Right,
It
right.
covers so many different situations, authoritarian regimes, failing states, each with its own, unique dangers and urgencies. So we have these huge forces pushing people away from their homes. But the video doesn't just stop there, does it?
No, it doesn't.
It also looks at what happens when they get to where they're going. And, well, it's not always a happy ending.
That's right. It shifts focus to the whole migrant experience. And it's interesting because it doesn't sugarcoat the challenges. We see that family from before. They've made it to this new apartment, boxes everywhere. But there's this feeling, like they're still displaced, like they don't quite belong. Yeah, it's like even though they got away from whatever danger they were in back home, the struggle isn't over.
Right. Like, is the grass ever really greener?
It makes you think. And that's what the video digs into, the whole integration process. It's not easy. You land in a new place. Maybe you don't speak the language. The customs are all different. You're dealing with systems you don't understand. It can be so isolating.
It reminds me of this report I read recently. Is about refugees here in Listener's City region and how tough it is for them. Like, just basic stuff. Housing, healthcare. It's all harder when you don't speak the language.
Absolutely. And then on top of that, you have the cultural differences and the emotional weight of leaving everything behind.
Exactly. And then you add discrimination. legal hurdles,
Yeah.
competition for jobs and housing. It's not just finding a roof over your head. It's building a whole new life.
Right. It's belonging.
Yeah, it's like starting over from scratch,
Yeah.
but you're carrying all this baggage. Trauma uncertainty. The video has this scene. It's the character video calling home, smiling through tears.
Oh,
Heartbreaking, but there's this glimmer of hope, too, you know?
yeah, definitely. There's this resilience that shines through. It's powerful. Even with all these challenges, humans are amazing at adapting, finding the strength to keep going. It's not just about being tough, though. The video shows how important community is.
Totally. Like people connecting with others who get it, you know? They've walked the same path. They form these support networks, start businesses, send their kids to school. It's creating a new normal, a new home.
That's it, isn't it? Finding that place where you belong, where what you bring to the table matters. These new communities, they become so vibrant and rich by all these different experiences and perspectives.
It's like this whole dystopia thing.
Yeah.
It's global, right? It's not just about the bad. It's about
Yeah,
how we respond as humans, the resilience, the drive to make things better.
totally. And it brings us back to that hashtag Dystopia 2025. Think about it. We
Yeah.
give social media a lot of flack for negativity, but here it's connecting people, giving them a voice, a shared experience, solidarity.
It's that feeling that you're not alone,
Yeah.
you know? Other people get it.
Yeah.
They feel overwhelmed. They want something better.
Mhm.
And that can be so powerful.
For sure. It gets people talking. It sparks action.
Yeah.
Maybe even solutions.
Yeah. And that's where the ending of this video is really something. It leaves you with this question. It's like, if dystopia is something we're all going through together, then what's our responsibility? How do we build a better future?
Yeah, it's a heavy question, but like there's hope in there too, right?
Definitely. If we're all feeling this, you know, maybe we can all find a way out of this together.
Exactly. The video, it doesn't like lay out a plan. It's
Right.
not that simple.
Right.
But it starts with recognizing that we're all connected.
Yeah.
Like these things causing this dystopian feeling, inequality, climate change, political instability, those are global problems. We can't solve those alone.
No, it's like we're all in this together, whether we want to be or not. So that means we've got to work together.
Right.
Like building a better world, it's everyone's responsibility.
I think so. And that responsibility, it doesn't stop at borders, Like
Yeah.
what we do here matters, even the small stuff, what we buy, how we vote.
Yeah, yeah. It all adds up.
Right. It's realizing that we're not just watching this happen, we're part of it.
So it's not just about feeling bad for people who are struggling. It's about doing something.
Yeah. Making choices that make a difference, even small ones.
What I like about this video, even though it's pretty bleak, is that it shows how resilient people are. There's still hope.
Yeah, definitely. Like those characters rebuilding their lives, the communities coming together to help each other. It's inspiring.
It's like, that's what gives me hope. Knowing that humans can adapt, we can work together to make things better.
Absolutely. And that's why I think that hashtag is so important. Dystopia doesn't have to be the end of the story. It can be a wake-up call.
A chance to change course. So as we wrap up this deep dive into dystopia as the new hashtag for 2025, I'm thinking, yeah, the video shows us the problems, but it also reminds us that we're not powerless. We can connect, we can act, we can build a better future.
And we have to.
That's the thing. It's easy to get caught up in the negativity, but knowing that we're all in this together, that we can make a difference, that's powerful.
Absolutely. Those small actions, they add up. So, when you see those headlines, when you feel that anxiety, remember, you're not alone. And we can do this. We can
Yeah.
make a better world.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining me on this deep dive. It's been, well, thought-provoking, for sure.